I hate telling this story, but it's a huge part in my life and who I am today. It shows how we can lose ourselves, but never really lose ourselves entirely. There is a flame in you that will burn through the toughest storms, that will last through years of neglect and light even the smallest corner of your soul, no matter how dark your days get. Here is my story when I felt like I had lost that light, lost myself, and I would have given anything to have just been dead. A brief story about the year I was addicted to meth. I had tried it once before, when I was 17, the come down overriding any sense of fun the drug might have created in the moment. I wasn't afraid to experience these things of life, but I wasn't interested in ever trying it again. But I was 21 when I watched him dangle the bag in front of my face. He was a beautiful man, full of life, and even more so, talent. He had a way with music that invoked emotions in you that you never even knew you had. A voice that would uplift you as well as break you. He could have ruled his world, been king. To me, he was. We'd only been dating for about 6 months, but we knew we had a bigger chapter to our lives together. I knew I would be his for a long time. It wouldn't be until 5 years later I realized I could not rewrite our story. The pages were forever stained. And I didn't feel pressured. I was never forced. But he was going to try it, just once, so I joined. I would never be able to get that moment back, forever changing the directions on not only my life, but his. He had no idea that in that moment he had signed a contract, written in the smoke of his first exhale, the bargaining tool, his soul. The memories appear out of a black haze, details hidden behind illusion. I remember the bathroom. It became a safe haven for me, but looking back now I can see what it truly was, a cell. Visions and voices filled my day. I knew things were happening around me, but I had no strength mentally to stop them. I was pegged as crazy, paranoid, sick. Yet some sleep became a staple for me. He would say that every time I accused him on what was happening. Get some sleep, he would say, as I was on my knees begging to see his phone. Friends and dealers in and out of the house all day, every day. I only knew I had a moment to express these feelings before another knock on the door. No privacy. Mind so lost that I couldn't say anything in front of company, so I hid. I hid in the bathroom because I couldn't think of anything other than what I knew was happening. I couldn't face him, couldn't face them. So I spiraled. Along with my mind, I started to lose weight, weighing about 79 pounds at one point. I used to lean against the wall as support because I could no longer hold myself up. I remember it was around day 10 that I hadn't eaten. My body craved food so much that I remember crawling across the floor when no one was looking, finding a bag that had one fry left and some ketchup packets. Nothing has ever tasted so good. Moments like this continued. I remember sitting across from what we used to call dope whores. She sat and looked me in the face while propositioning him for a trade. Her for the drugs. I just sat there, weak, mindless, useless. I wouldn't have been able to even form words, so why even bother? So I just sat there, shaking. How had I become so lost? And I was lost, completely. And I would have died. There was still a spark in me, though, that no one could have taken away. I lived in a state of the most agonizing anxiety that I could never even begin to explain. My body was dying, but I still fought. It started with quotes. I downloaded every single Zen, Buddha meditation app that I could find. Quotes about, I am enough, I was teaching things that I had never heard before. I was powerful in ways that I had never even known. All of this because I refused to lose any more of my mind. The one thing I had cherished most. No more. And so I read, night and day, breathing through the pain of losing him and having nothing to show for it, breathing through my weakness. And then that night happened. On top of all that I was, or wasn't, I agreed to take acid-laced ecstasy. What was I thinking? I have never been so lost. I fought harder than I have ever fought that night. I spent all night writing in a notebook, filled every single page with black scribbled nonsense. I eventually called it my self-given exorcism. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. So I wrote. He would come check on me from time to time, worried I had completely broke. And I had. I was done. I looked out the window with the sun rising and made the decision. I was done. I would either kill myself right then and right there, or I would make a change today. So I packed, and he screamed. I was leaving, I was done, and I couldn't lose any more of myself. He knew I was serious. He didn't want to lose me, but he wasn't quite ready to stop. It made him feel so powerful. What it took from me, it enhanced for him. He could never truly stop. But he did. He broke his pipes as he screamed, "Look what I am doing for you, bitch." He wasn't the person I had known. Neither was I. But in that moment, I felt that I had won. For the next 5 years, it was a battle to keep him from going back. But eventually I lost. I lost him. He lost him. And I can only pray that one day he has the strength to remember that beautiful man he once was. The world needs you, and I hope one day that you can see that. But because of quotes, small, silly affirmations, because of my willpower to keep growing, I am here. I owe everything to that flame inside of me, and I swore I would be the fuel for others someday. It's there. No matter how dim, that flame is still there. Meth goes for your prized possessions, and it takes it. It tried to take my mind, it tried to make me weak, but it never stood a chance. The score might be Morgan, 1, Meth, endless, but I won the fight, and I will never slip again. So if this tells you anything, it tells you that you are so powerful, and you are enough. No matter what, where, when, who you are enough on the streets, under that blanket, on the floor. You're enough no matter your choices, circumstances, or addictions, because you are powerful. You have the power to create your life, to change everything, to change, to choose to build and repair and become a better version of your already worthy self. Starting from the bottom, step 3, or on top of the mountain. You deserve your spot in life, and you're the only one who can make that happen. I love you, I love you, I love you. You create your day, so make it one worth living.